Hi, this is the 11th part of the video, Malachi's Mission Earth. Balus was called Samael in short, with vapors of self-complacency and conceit, which is the real nature of Balus. Next, he wanted to scale the skies and try to control and rule all the stars, the Yahwehans, the angelic hosts of the heavens. Very often, he would incite unnecessary arguments, pretending about his excellence by means of deceitful illusions and diabolical stratagems. Once, some of the company of the agreeable Anunnaki were going to have a look at the preserved tablets, the holiest of the holy scriptures, upon which contained the record of the past and the future, called the Munir, illuminated records, or the Akasha records. On their return, Balus perceived marks of grief on their foreheads and asked them about the cause of their grief. They replied, "This day we have obtained the information from the tablets that one of the Anunnaki, Garbat, Cherubim, those who are named the companions of Michael, meaning who dares to be like El, of the mansion of the Eternal, shall soon be afflicted with rejection and everlasting damnation. Everyone is afraid for his own sake, and we request you to pray that the guardian Anunnaki may allow none of us to fall into this misfortune. We are very much terrified and dismayed." Then Balus answered them, saying, "Let not this even disturb you, for that judgment refers to neither you nor me, nor to me. I have years ago been aware of it and have not communicated it to anyone." The pride and arrogance of Balus did not allow him to weigh the words of the Anunnaki. At that time, the blessed proclamation reached the hearing of the inhabitants. The echo of the success of Zakar reached their ears. On hearing the news, their depression was ejaculating from them, and that permeated their being from the kindred anger of the unhaloed, disagreeable doer Balus. He spoke, saying, "How can mortals created of dust claim to be a being of superiority, and I am created before him of fire from the previous sun cycle? See that, black man? Lucifer himself hates us. And you wonder why we have a rough time here on planet Earth, our hell." So the Anunnaki, having guessed the events to come from the sons of Tarnush, said to El Elu, "Will you make a mischief maker in it, one who shall shed blood?" The planet Titan was the home base of the disagreeable Anunnaki, which were divided into 12 continents. The Greeks named them Oceanus, Creus, Sirius, Iapetus, Kronos, Hyperion, Rhea, Mnemosyne, Theia, Themis, Tethys, and Phoebe. The disagreeable Anunnaki made Titan an alternative home when they were cast out, and the capital was Phoebe, from whence you get the word phobia, an irrational fear of a specific thing or situation to avoid, a dislike or aversion. The space satellite Phobos of Mars was also named after the 12th continent Phoebe of Titan. This is the mystical 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Ishmael, the 12 signs of the zodiac under their Olympian deities, Zeus or Jesus, born on the 12th month of the Gregorian calendar with his 12 disciples, who became Jesus and Yahshua and Yahovah. However, some of these disagreeable Anunnaki took residence on one of the 3 continents of the planet Rizq, the continent called Zarantu. They were restricted from visiting the other 2 continents, Darnuriya and Kusmusta, without a Rizqian escort. There was immigration laws set up. However, Rizqians can visit all 3 unescorted. Zarantu was under the command of Tarnush, who wanted to control total control of Rizq. However, Murduk was chosen by Anu to lead the fleets, and this caused a disagreement between Murduk and Tarnush. Anu's decision for Murduk to lead Anu's fleets caused a disagreement between Murduk and Tarnush, which caused a small war and clash on the planet Rizq, which comes from the word RAZAQA, meaning to provide. Tarnush, also known as Humbaba, attacked the planet Rizq with a shield depleter, an aerosol, a gaseous suspension of fine solid or liquid particles. This substance can be found today in such products as paint, detergent, and insecticide, packaged under pressure with a gaseous propellant for release as a spray of fine particles. Today, the children of the Luciferians are using the same tactics here on Earth to deplete the ozone or shield of this planet. The aerosol bomb of Tarnush comes from the word aero or ear, meaning ear, atmosphere, aeroballistics, and a gas, aerosol. From the Greek word ear, you have ear, and from the word sol, meaning sun, you get air, o for omega, meaning ending, and sol, meaning sun, air ending sun. Just like the destruction of the atmosphere and the sons of Rizq, the same epidemic is also being done here on Earth. The aerosol bomb of Tarnush caused the natural atmosphere of Rizq to deplete. The Rizqians had no protection from the damaging rays of the three suns. The atmosphere was dwindling away, and many Rizqians departed to other galaxies. The rays of the three suns, Utu, Shamash, and Apsu, had put a hole in our ozone layer, as you have now a hole in your ozone layer over Australia, expanding daily. Rizq, the eighth planet, was the heart and soul of that tri-solar system, and thus was most affected, as Earth is the heart of this solar system. All three suns have a magnetic pull that was a tighter and heavier rotation, that caused a tighter and heavier rotation of the planets. The energy field on the Rizq was starting to increase, and the hole was starting to lose its color. So the Rizqians needed to build a protection, a dome of gold dust to protect the planet from the damaging ultraviolet rays. Gold reflects the sun's rays. Gold is pure, and pure gold can be easily beaten or hammered to a thickness of 0.000005 inches or 1.02 ounces, or simply thinner than paper, and can be stretched for more than 60 miles. It can be made thinner than any metal, and this is one of the reasons why gold is a very precious metal and is greatly valued by humans today. It is one of the softest metals, and it is a good conductor of electricity and heat, and it can be vaporized better than any metal. Gold is also capable of reflecting intense heat and holds up under any conditions. Having this and much more advanced knowledge about pure gold and other metals and minerals, the Rizqians knew exactly what they were coming for. Gold, having existed since the creation of planet Earth as you know it, can be found deep in the Earth's crust, volcanic ash, as well as the vast oceans of this planet. Anu and the other Elohim knew that the gold of this earth was good long before the birth of man. The Rizqians had to abort the Rizq and go to Kesul, Orion, which is a 6-star, 6 major sun constellations, thus having hundreds of galaxies. The Rizqians took residence in the planets and star constellations of Mazzaroth, Aish or Arcturus, and Camus or Pleiades, making them also temporary homes. Exploration was necessary. Thus the grafting of explorers became a necessity. This gave birth to Romadians. later to become known as greys. These extraterrestrial biological entities, or EBEs, were grafted from various extraterrestrial species. They were emotionless and without reproductive capabilities. They served but one purpose, and that is to explore as explorers and worthy servants. Their exploration took them to Lahamu, called Mars, and Shishki, called the Moon, where plans for the construction of cylinder crafts called shams were built. This took place after the collision of the crafts of the Ninga fleet, also called the Four Winds. They transported gold dust to the Moon, then to the Nibiru, and from there onto the Planet Rizq. When this job was completed, these beings were given their freedom. They chose Pleiades and Arcturus as their home. Malevolent Luciferian type reptilians chose to conquer them and enslave them by performing biological experiments. They're creating hybrids of them, and they use them as explorers to this planet, and they still control some of them to this very day. Those that took their freedom resided in the Canis Major star constellation near Sept, also called Sothis, which is Sirius, the dog star, having 2 major and 6 minor suns, Zeta Reticuli, just south of the Orion belt. These greys, sought union with human beings, having a common enemy, Lucifer, who controls 70 of their empires. As a great warrior, the Rizqians engaged Murduk services. They needed somebody who was a warrior type to go seek out the gold and transport it by Nibiru to Rizq. Are you listening, Conan? Are you listening, people? The Rizqians were being ambushed by the reptilians. And at that time, Murduk was a disagreeable Yahwehan, or what you would call a warrior. So he was chosen to lead this mission, which first had to be started by attacking Humbaba. Murduk was given a Tilu weapon, a red beam of light, a light beam ray gun from the gemstone Sardius, a laser that was created by his grandfather Anu to stop Tarnush in his disagreeable ways. He succeeded in his mission. Are you listening, Mr. Orangutan? So the gold was being transported by cylinder-shaped crafts 30 to 60 feet in size. They were assembled on Lahmu Mars and parked on the dark side of Shishki, the moon. The smaller crafts were 1.5 to 2 miles. We are reading this from Holy Tablets, chapter 1, tablet 4, verses 9 through 57. They had androids called robotoids that would scout out the minerals of the planet controlled by the Romanians. So Humbaba and his followers who supported him, which were 1/3 of Rizq, were cast out and was never to return there. Humbaba took residence in the planet Titan, which is considered a moon of Saturn, with a breed of reptilian beings. The greatest or the largest of Saturn's known satellites is Titan. The diameter of Titan, including its atmosphere, is 3,400 miles. This satellite in your solar system has a thick atmosphere and is about 2.5 times as dense as that of Earth. Titan's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, with small amounts of methane and other hydrogen compounds. Humbaba and his followers were mammalia of any of various warm-blooded reptile animals of the class of mammals, from late Latin mammalis, of the breast, from mamma meaning breast. This mixture bred human-looking snakes called serpents, people who speak with a whisper. Because of the damage that Tarnush had done on Planet Rizq, the Rizqians started expeditions looking for gold. Murduk and a group of Anunnaki were chosen to seek this gold, which they knew could be found in abundance on planet Tiamat, meaning maiden of life. They made trips in a mother craft called Nibiru, which means planet of the crossing, or that which crosses the sky. So Murduk found minerals on Tiamat and set up a base on Lahmu Mars, meaning deity of war, today called Mars. He also went to the dark side of Shishki, where people had already lived under the rule of Luna or Lunar, who originally came from Gaga, Pluto. The planet Gaga, Pluto, at the time was an emissary of Anshar or Saturn before it was thrown into its own wobbling orbit when one of the satellites of Nibiru crashed into the planet Tiamat, now called Earth. Those were some of the planets that were on Nibiru's regular routes. The planet Tiamat was a regular stop off as well, along with the planet Mars, which to the Romans is known as the father of Romulus and Remus. So Conan, you are merely holding on to one of the 9 clones of the angel Melchizedek, Dr. Malachi's, clones which are fulfilling the expressed purpose for which they were created, to be used as body parts or as whole bodies. Do you get it? So you might as just well go ahead and release the clone. This is not the day and time for dysfunctional appearances, nor for deceitful illusions and diabolical stratagems. Rather, seeking forgiveness would be in your best interest. So just let it go. Thus ends today's video. We hope you have learned something from this video, and we urge you to share this video and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies, no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click on the like button below, and see you at the next video.